friends, it's been a while. I hope you can hear me. It's very windy where I am. I, in true snow fashion, am in the woods by the water. I have a stack of books. There's about 5 more that you can't see. I have a pack of kin. I have an open kin in my hand. Some berries. What else? GoPro. A big psychedelic mushroom sleeping bag I'm laying on. My bikini and some fun tinctures and things. Setting the scene. I am happier than I've been in ages, and at the same time going through more than I ever have all at once. I spend a lot of my time in almost like liminal space, I guess I could say, where I don't see greenery. And I think that's a huge test for me because that's where I'm happiest. And if I can't be there, it takes a lot of willpower to keep on track. Occupational therapy, physical therapy. I'm going into eye therapy, all kinds of things. I found out what lidocaine was recently. Seen it in aloe gel as a pale person and never really thought about what it was. It's a godsend. Very grateful for lidocaine. So I put these giant patches on my neck. Should probably have on one right now. They make life bearable, and I'm not one to preach about meds because I am actually the opposite. I like everything natural if I can. But those things work. So if it makes a day that much easier, I will indulge. My skin has been really aggravated with all the stuff it's been going through and having put on it and done to it. So I haven't really wanted to be present online, but every time that happens, even when it's not about my skin is something people just have always focused on, which is fine, and I appreciate that people love it. I also love it very much, but I think it's important to show up during those times even more than it is when things are great and good. I'm continuing to bare my soul. That's dramatic. There's so much that no one will ever know, and a lot of me will remain a mystery, but the important things that you can relate to that would make you probably feel better, I think, if you're in a similar position with invisible illness or non-apparent disabilities, just injuries in general, I think what I'm putting online is helpful. And I try to make sure that I'm doing that when it sucks. Because ironically, those are the times where it's helpful. There's nothing I love more than playing dress up in the woods and playing in the water, under the trees. So this is my feel-good kind of a day. But I am in more pain than I normally am. And I think that's why it's important we talk about these things mutually, because we think we're alone, and then we're not. I even had a doctor the other day tell me, I'm just like you, and it's so interesting seeing people come in and think, oh, I must be the only one. How could anyone else be going through this very specific, particular thing? But they are. Everyone you pass on a daily basis, people that you talk to, the barista that gives you your coffee, person at the library that's sitting in the booth next to you, all of these people and more have something going on. And usually not that great of a thing going on amongst the good that is going on. And it's easy to forget that because I think pain is very isolating and very hard to go through by yourself. It's what I've come to learn from myself and from the support groups that I'm in and the friends I've made through this. I've learned that a lot of us actually will isolate when we're in pain, and then it does the opposite of what we need. What we need is to talk and to gather and know that we're not alone and know that there are other people like us. There's comfort in numbers, even though sometimes it's a crappy reason to have something in common. Oh, that makes me laugh. But we do laugh. We laugh a lot, actually. And over the past, I'd say 6 months of this, I have gotten so many funny memes and quotes and things and stories. And it's the honey of my life. Talking to people about brain injuries and other injuries. I feel more passionate about that than anything, and my art will always be my home. Will never leave me, neither will nature, but this is such a new thing and I feel so honored and almost shy in this space, which is funny because I'm quite the assertive woman. But I feel shy, I feel like a novice and I feel like a newbie, and I think there's something so beautiful about that. You get used to being good at something. Like for me, painting, I became a master at my craft and I worked really hard for that. But now I'm new at something and I'm not good at something. And there's a lot of humanity there, and I want to share that. I want to share humanity and connect over that. I'm excited to start making more of this content, and now that the world has defrosted, my world here, I am ready to be showing more of the content that I love to make, which is me in the woods, hiking, swimming, being a fairy, sitting at the peak of a mountain, and relaxing, lounging in nature, because I love to do this. I can't wait to show you all the cool camping gear I have. Fun fact, the day before the freak accident that caused my injury, my second injury, I saw my grandparents. And my grandpa and my grandma gave me all of their vintage camping gear from the 1960s and 70s. I have an avocado Coleman stove, and I even have, amongst many things, a giant cast iron with feet, and my grandma's vintage, perfectly sealed sleeping bag. And let me tell you, it is very fashionable, very her. I was so excited to make footage of that, and then my brain got hurt. So now I'm kind of just, in a way, backtracking while doing amazing steps forward, going back to all the stuff that I wanted to show, I wanted to make, and doing that, just going down the list. I do have a lot of cool footage from random adventures from my GoPro, like Woodstock, New York, and other things that I'm gonna put together and put up on YouTube. But I also want to keep things present as well, and I think that this is the best way to do that, is just to talk to you when I'm in the woods and tell you what's going on and see what you're into, because I know a lot of people like day in the life and vlogs and things, and I can totally do that. I'm not sure if my audience, the people that watch, thank you, by the way. I love you so much for caring, for watching, and for being here to see me do silly, crazy stuff in the woods and then some. Do you want to see me like going through brain therapy days and what it's like a day in the life or a week in the life of someone that has medical stuff? Is that interesting? Is it fun to see that against the contrast of this? I'm leaning towards that. And maybe I'll just start doing that anyway and see if you like it. You can tell me no if you hate it. This spring felt a lot more important to me than others for some reason. I felt like it was so unbearably cold. My van, the doors would be frozen shut. Stuff was exploding. It was definitely intense. That's coming from someone who has lived in places where feet of snow is normal. But for where I was staying, for where I've been, it was not normal. So it feels like much more of a relief and a really big transition, a distinct transition, and just feeling the sun on my skin and feeling so warm, being so free and having my little toes out feels awesome. I'm squinting so much in this video. The sun is out and she's beautiful. I'm more of the moon, but the sun, I need her. I am probably going to go to my favorite bar ever in the entire world after this and get a mocktail and my favorite burger of all time. Burgers are one of my favorite foods and would definitely be my death row meal if I had to choose one. Burger, fries, American cheese, lettuce, tomato, onion, no ketchup, no mustard, no relish, no nothing else. Don't even talk to me about aioli or mayo. Anyway, I might do that. I'm doing better. I'm doing better. I'm probably going to take a dip. I brought my mushroom bikini and gonna eat some berries because I love to do that. I love to sit and eat fruit by the water and the trees. And there's people out right now on their boats. I thought I would share what I'm reading right now. It's by Paul Donahue. It's called Sick and Tired of Feeling Sick and Tired, Living with Invisible Chronic Illness. And I started this a while ago when my recovery started, but I've been getting to a point where I can scan a page easier again. At one point, I wasn't able to read a page in under 3 minutes. It was that bad. And I think those are some things people don't know about brain injuries, is that the cognitive side can be very hidden and you may not know. I really enjoy it so far, and I'll definitely update. That's my current read. And I'm also doing The Artist's Way. I think I would share more of that soon. Only did a week, I think, before I started having the other therapies, which have slowed me down quite a bit, but for good reason. They slow you down so that it picks up, and you hurt to feel better, as wacky as that sounds. So I think I'm gonna do that as well on YouTube and share that journey, because that's definitely something that is really important to me, that I feel like has kind of taken a backseat publicly, but not in my life. My art's been with me through this injury, and I want to bring that back out more. Also, I started making different art during this. I didn't stop painting when the accident happened, and a lot of people have asked me about that. I actually continued, but I continued differently. And instead of doing what I used to do, I actually started making what I would see. And I have something called aura in my eyes. It's basically like seeing rainbows and fractals, and it can be quite beautiful, ironically. I want to show the art that I've been making, but I kind of wanted them in groups at first, so I didn't share anything. And now I kind of have a good amount, or a good body, I should say, of work that I want to show. It's kind of like similar to the psychedelic paintings I used to do, but it's actually from my eyes rather than just my imagination. I'm gonna keep going with that. And I also started doing Japanese watercolor, but with my pigments and inks, my natural pigments and inks. For anybody who doesn't know what I do, I make my own paint and ink with pigments, and I forge a lot of them. Some of them I order online, some of them are gifts from people. And yeah, if you'd like to also see me painting, I can do that. It'd probably be in an environment like this. I want to give the most visually pleasing, stimulating, relieving content I possibly can, and I don't want it to be super staged. So yeah, I was laying on this rock for 4.5 hours before I started this video. So when I mean not staged, I really mean it. It's crazy to think I've been doing this for years and just didn't listen to my brother. Sorry, Michael, I know you're gonna see this, but I'm doing it now. You're my favorite person in the entire world, and I love you to death. I always said, if the world ended and I had Michael, I'd live. If you don't know about this drink, it's called Kin. Well, the brand is Kin. And this one's Lightwave. And Lightwave is kind of like a smoky lavender vanilla forest potion. And it's my favorite drink of all time. This one is warm, still tastes amazing. I tell myself it's a hot toddy. And I've been doing really good with being sober. I've had no shortage of fun drinks. Also, kava. Be careful. You really need to compensate with water. Fun fact about water is that when I sustained like the whiplash to my neck, it actually affected the nerves in my neck, and the nerves and muscles in my neck are in constant spasm. It's really fun. I have a hard time like chugging anything that's liquid like I used to, even water. So when I enjoy my fun little drinks, I keep a reminder in my head, I have to drink a ton of water to compensate. Highly recommend this. I also spike this with kava, which I can show you a little bit of that too. I've also been journaling again. With writing also being hard, I stopped journaling and stopped doing word searches, which now I am journaling. This is my new journal. It's very pretty. I think this is fitting. And I've also been doing my word searches, which tire me out visually. I'm working on it. Show you around after I'm done being a salamander. I think next time I'm gonna bring a rope and a tube and just float out there. Maybe we could talk out there. My GoPro is actually charging right now. I just haven't used it yet. Sometimes you just gotta shoot with your phone and not care. And know it's gonna come out good regardless. What matters to me is the message, not so much like the gear. I only have a GoPro because I spend most of my time in water. But I don't care to get a new one or anything fancy. Maybe a head mount that can go on like a helmet. I have a regular head mount. I hope you're doing wonderful. And I hope that if you're having painful days, you know that your life is still beautiful, meaningful, valuable, bringing something to the world that nobody else can. And you gotta stay. Thank you so much for caring about what I post and for connecting with me on here. I feel more human than I ever have. In like the best way, sometimes the worst way. There's some really cool stuff coming up too with my friends that I can't wait to show you. Before I go, I'd like to read you something out of this book that I'm reading. Be patient with all that is unresolved in your heart and try to love the questions themselves. Do not seek for the answers that cannot be given, for you would not be able to live them, and the point is to live everything. Live the questions now, and perhaps without knowing it, you will live along some distant day into the answers. That felt so special to me. It's 2026 and I'm 30 years old and I'm living in the days that I have answers to the questions I had when I was 16, sitting in this exact same spot. Things that I was wondering about and so stressed about, and it all makes sense now. Also, it's really important to have a bookmark you like. Mine is of me and my best friends. I hope you're having an amazing, amazing day. I'll be seeing you soon. I love it so much. My heart will never tire of this.